and for the gifts of time and service you continually give to keep this place together. We dedicate this to our continuing work. I invite you to stand now as you're willing and able and join in singing hymn number 1053 in the Teal hymnal, How Could Anyone? Is it difficult for you to comprehend what I am saying with no inflection and no gestures? Or what about if it's really loud and I'm moving all the time and it seems like you're overwhelmed with sensory information? Those might be some of the difficulties faced by today's speaker, Kenna Anduha Young. She is a longtime UU and a relatively recent member of this West Valley community. She's an Air Force veteran and a teacher of science and mathematics. She's also an autistic woman who lived 54 years undiagnosed, often wondering why she was clueless in some areas. This morning she will share with us her journey of those years and those that have followed diagnosis. Welcome, Kenna.
Thank you, Judy. This is a symbol for autism. It's a rainbow-colored puzzle piece. Okay. It's a rainbow-colored puzzle piece, and I'll elucidate on it a little later. My autistic brother, foster brother, helped me put together the piece. I would like to introduce you to some autistics. Einstein, Bill Gates, Mark Zuckerberg, Daryl Hannah, Bill Murray, Dan Aykroyd, and me.
We still can't hear you.
Oh, I would like to introduce you to some autistics. Einstein, Bill Gates, Mark Zuckerberg, Daryl Hannah, Bill Murray, Dan Aykroyd, and me. Hello, my journey as an autistic life in the dark. What is autism? A neurological paradox of both hyper and hyposensory experiences and perceptions. Autism can range from being life-crippling or be a mild annoyance and kind of geeky quirky. Autism can be brilliant genius, or it can also look like being mentally retarded, or have cofactors like mental illness. Autism is not the same for everyone. So I can only speak for myself and a few people I have observed. That said, I can tell you my journey through autism from my youth to 54 when I found out, and tell you about now as the journey continues. My autism was unknown to me and unknown to the world around me. I was a problem as a child for which no one had a solution. As yet, girl autistics were unknown quantity in the 60s, and the research has only now started, as it has been seen as a boy problem in the past as women went unnoticed. I have an above average mathematical and science abilities from very early, and lousy English and grammar skills. I was a foster child. My birth mother was an alcoholic. She was unable to care for me, and I was placed at 18 months old with my foster mother. My foster mom, Dorothy Anduha, was an amazing human being and my lucky break. It turned out to be a permanent placement. She said when I arrived I could not eat a cracker by myself, never worn shoes, and cried a lot until I looked at her face and smiled. I was a happy baby with a great big head. It seems a large head compared to the body is a common thing in autism, but nobody knew then. I had a thing about the texture of food. Oatmeal was not going in. No matter how long you made me sit there. Pork chops left my body the same direction they went in. And bell peppers made me cry. I now find that I have trouble digesting animal fat, and bell peppers are an allergic medical emergency. But nobody knew. In distress, I went mute. I could not tell people what was happening. As a child at 4, I could draw Donald Duck and Mickey Mouse perfectly to scale from another drawing. But I had no imagination to make a drawing of my own. I could only copy perfectly what someone else had done. At 4, I copied, but I did it with great genius. At 6, a roll of butcher paper, 12 feet long, stretched from one end of the kitchen to the other for me to draw on. Instead of drawing, I ended up playing with numbers, trying out their relationships, their positions to each other, and the patterns they made. My big sister of 16 said, "That's not how you do math." Today I teach math for a living, and I approach it from a point of view of systems and patterns. At 6, I had a meltdown in class, painting a picture. I wanted to know how you got the sky to be blue everywhere where things were not. And I wanted to know how to make the shape of the sun and how I could make it look real. A child said, "You make a sun like this." Drawing a circle and those little ray lines on my painting. I had a meltdown. Screaming, crying, pain everywhere. That was not how the sun really looked. I didn't understand. That was the symbol for the sun. My comprehension of symbolic thinking was very weak. My brain very literal. I spent a lot of time alone, hanging on the fence, alone, crying, wanting to be a part of playing, but not fitting in. So I watched the seagulls. Then I took pictures of them with a cheap Instamatic camera. I wanted to understand how they flew. And a cheap Instamatic camera is inadequate to understand flight. So both the camera, I now own a Nikon, which I need to learn how to use, and flight became a center point in my life. My driving curiosity led me to go into the U.S. Air Force, and I went into physics, which includes optics, sensors, and actuators. So I got to explore how do things fly. And I still want to know how the seagulls do it exactly. I found out at 22 I'm dyslexic and dysgraphic. This means that my handwriting and spelling and grammar suck. Fortunately, my gift in physics and mathematics makes up for how lousy I am at being a secretary. I became a teacher, and I'm fairly good at it. I'm a good explainer, making explicit to brains not like my own what is implicit to me about the physical universe, what is real that I observe. I always had trouble with discipline in the classroom as a teacher. I can't read mixed emotions very well. The combination of fear, anger, control, and power that a disruptive child can feel from a broken home can make me very confused about what to choose to do next. People told me, just give them the look. You know, the look. You know, the look. Having no idea what it was I was supposed to do. You see, I'm partially face blind. My type of autism has me very good at understanding how people feel, but no clue as to why they may feel that way. I have to research it in psychology books. I can't imagine their thoughts, but I feel their pain as if it was my own because my body echoes theirs literally in an attempt to understand. So I feel their pain as if it were mine by mimicry. This can make me seem somewhat codependent. And there's truth in that. I can lose myself in their sorrow, their anger, their loss. If it gets to be too much, if the sensory information gets to be too thick, I will have a lack of speech. I become mute. Or I can have a meltdown because the emotions they are carrying on their body. I am feeling full blast with no filters or ability to avoid the emotions. My body's hypersensitive. My sense of touch is a little bit above average. My sense of hearing is well above average. My visual sight ranges from being able to see the spots on the surface of my eyeball in focus from the inside to seeing things very far away, even at the age of 57. I'm kind of like an amplification system with the gain put on a high. I have no filters, and so the static in background is as loud as the signal of the message I'm desperately trying to focus on. In the grocery store, my husband can be standing right next to me, talking to me, and I cannot hear him. Not because I cannot hear, but because I hear everything in every direction around me with no ability to focus my attention unless I watch his face as well. I cannot block out the background. It all sounds the same. And it is cacophony and static. Too much stuff with no filters and high amplification in touch, vision, and sound can be a bit overwhelming sometimes. I sometimes need to hide in the bathroom, a small dark space, or go outside to nature to calm down from inorganic levels of stimulation. If you would not bring the dog, don't bring me either. She's a good Geiger counter for too much stimulus. I am socially limited. I don't pick up on social cues very well. I don't understand the need for leaders or followers in a conversation or in life. I see everyone's opinion is pretty much equal. What they have to say being more important than their status. Body language is a muddle. If too much happens at once, mixed emotion can be impossible to sort out. The world is loud, right, and sometimes painful. And that is my normal. My graces. I can hug and be hugged, and it helps. Some autistics feel all touch is pain. That is why they scream with touch. Only during high stress does touch become pain. I'm a lucky one. I don't need LSD to think vision is amazing. I am almost always in awe of the beauty of nature, color, and texture. Super hearing is a dubious superpower when you hear every conversation at once in a muddle of noise. Superman must have had filters and focus. Mine is poor. Am I disabled or just different? I vote for different, and many people will disagree with me. I respect their right to disagree. Everyone is entitled to their opinion of both mine and others' autisms. At 53, I was teaching 24 students an hour chemistry. as an elective to 11th graders who had a good math ground, highly motivated, and college bound. At 54, chemistry would now be taught to 34 students an hour, to every student at 10th grade, with or without the math skills. That year I went to the doctor for happy pills due to stress. She told me that in my school district, these changes had my fellow teachers getting happy pills at least two teachers a week. So anyone would have broke down, and I did. The nature of my breakdown, mute, meltdowns with loss of sensory information, tears that wouldn't stop, started my journey into why I felt like I did. I thought I had fibromyalgia. No, that was my body mirroring the tension of everybody in the room, of the stress of too many frustrated students, too much sound, too much. I thought I had an ulcer. No, I feel my intestinal tract. What a place for extra nerve endings and perceptions. With only 75% of the biota of regular folks and low stomach acid, I do not digest as effectively as others. And it can be painful to feel that. Most of all, if you had the fear of everyone in the room. I thought I had COPD, dying from lack of oxygen. No, I am hypersensitive to the environment, which is allergies and asthma, just a histamine reaction from hell. No, I'm not dying. Good news. Bad news. I feel under stress, like I am. I don't feel disabled. I am differently abled. I am the canary in the coal mine. If I faint, the air might not be good for you either. If I faint or lose it, the environment might be unhealthy for everyone. Recently, in social media, it has been all about, on the internet, this dress. The story of the dress has been all the craze. The dress can appear blue, black, white, gold, or pink, silver, depending on which type of eyes you have. It's quite the phenomenon. More important, it is a demonstration that our sensory systems, our perceptual systems, are all variable. We all see the world different. Not just me. Not just folks more autistic than me. Not just the blind. Not just the deaf. We are all more different and more the same in our differences than we can perceive. The book, The Green-Tailed Mouse. At 30, I heard it. I did not know why I cried, but I cried, holding the book to my chest after all the 3 and 4-year-olds left. Because I feel like that naked country mouse. Like the country mouse in the Green-Tailed Mouse story, I live without a mask. I know I am a cosmic small mouse in a great universe. And I know, despite all trappings of status and position, everyone else is as well. All equal in powerlessness over the universe and each other. But we can help each other. My mother taught me that people are kind of like types of fruit. How can you compare an orange, a pear, an apple, a tomato, a watermelon? How can you say anyone is better or worse? Like the figure for autism, a multicolored power piece, we are all a puzzle, a mystery even to ourselves. We all have strengths, and we all have weaknesses. That could be considered complementary. Often, when we say things are better or worse, we are talking about life or value like a conga line with a head and a tail. But life is not linear. We stand on area. We feel three-dimensional space. Time also repositions the kaleidoscope of being. All is impermanence. Life does not go to the survival of the fittest. Life belongs to what fits the environment it is in. In a world full of better and worse beliefs, autistic people seem not to fit. But this is not the truth of it. Some of us have great talents, and yes, we have weaknesses. But our weaknesses are places where we can cooperate, and our strengths are gifts we can give each other, all of us. There will always be someone smarter than me at any one thing, so I need not get too conceited. But I also don't need to think of myself as less than, because I will have strengths that other people need. Life goes to those who can find a way to fit in their environment. We can be a great environment for each other if we stop judging and try to understand each other gently. The thing I like most about being a Unitarian Universalist is that we all can have our own experience and supporting each other cooperatively in loving and gentle ways. Here we do more than tolerate. We celebrate. As for the future, the journey continues. There's no need to rush to the destination, which is just the grave. Thank you for listening, and I'm glad to be where I feel like I fit.
Told Ken I'm glad she can be hugged. That was just incredible. Please stand now as you're willing and able and join in singing our closing hymn that the choir has been teaching us. We should know pretty good now. Number 1057 in the Teal hymnal, Go Lift It Up. Please join me in the reading of our West Valley UU Church's mission statement. It is in your order of service. We agree to provide a safe place to celebrate diversity, draw inspiration for living better lives, foster social and environmental justice, and support each other in our spiritual searches. I want to again extend thanks to Kenna for sharing her journey with us this morning. Also to Joe and Stacy for their contribution of gorgeous music. Thanks to Lisa Cook for presenting the chalice lighting words. To Lori Allen and Graham Smith, Our greeters, to Kimberly Escalante, who prepares the kitchen for our hospitality week after week, and to all those whose efforts behind the scenes keep and maintain our spaces inside and out. We will now close with some words taken from the writing of Buddhist scholar Thich Nhat Hanh. Let us be at peace with our bodies and our minds. Let us return to ourselves and become wholly ourselves. Let us be aware of the source of being, common to all and to all living things. Evoking the presence of the great compassion, let us fill our hearts with our own compassion towards ourselves and towards all living beings. Let us pray that we ourselves cease to be the cause of suffering in each other.
Thank you, Barbara.